Alright, here we are in Act 5 now. This one was a doozy. This act took me twice as long as any other act. Yes, partially because it's just bigger and longer. There are some enormous areas here, and fighting through those areas is rough, you know, especially if it takes you an hour to get through it and you still don't find a waypoint, and then you have to go and you have to fight through the area again. But beyond that, I was taking it a little slower than usual because I'm less familiar with this area than I am with the rest of Diablo 2. This was the area that way back in the day, in my undergrad days, I had trouble getting through because I played a barbarian. That was my character, and I cleared everything else in normal and nightmare, and then in hell up to Act 5, and then everything here in the very beginning was immune to physical in Act 5, and that completely shut me down because I was 100% concentrated in physical damage. I had no ability to do elemental damage at all, and I was like level 80 something by the time I got there, and I had already burned through all of my respecs and everything, so that sucked. Anyway, so going through the plains, not the plains, but the siege area and then the plateau, they're just enormous areas. Fun to do though, but enormous. And then through the tunnels, the caves aren't that big, not big, but aren't that constricting. There's still plenty of room to move around. So they weren't that bad compared to other cave areas. However, what I really like about the cave areas is they're very pretty compared to other cave areas. There's lots of ruins and things like that to look at. The Minotaurs I had trouble with. Not a lot of trouble, but when they spin up their attack, they can really pour on some pain. They can really do damage fast if you let them start generating their speed. So best to take them down fast. And I had a tendency to run away from them. So here at Neelithox, I did full clears of all of the levels, so that slowed me down a little bit. It took me 2 full play sessions to clear the entire thing, and I think, if I recall correctly, the level that Neelithox was on, I think it was the last of the wings that I actually found him on. So that burned up time, and that was sort of like the Arcane Sanctuary, where I had to go through all 4 wings of that one. But he wasn't hard to defeat. He didn't use his corpse explosion to much effect, which I remember from the last time was really pretty horrific. His corpse explosion could be just terrible. But killed Neelithox without much trouble, moved along to the Ancients. I went and did one of the optional things, the optional dungeons, just for a little bit of extra XP, the frozen cavern or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember what it was called. Frozen Tundra, another enormous area. I didn't do most of the little portals that take you to like the pit of Abaddon and those sorts of things, because those have a tendency to have the Minotaurs, and so here's one I did, but I skipped the rest of them. The Minotaurs are bad juju. I don't like them at all. This one was the Infernal Pit, but yeah, I like to avoid the Minotaurs. And then I went up onto the top of the mountain where I fought the Ancients, after burning my way here through the Ancients' Way. And I was not certain that I could do the Ancients. I've had trouble with them before, and I've had some hardcore characters die at the Ancients. So, here, this battle, yeah, it actually turned out to be doable. I was surprised that I didn't have to pull out any tricks from a bag of tricks or anything like that. And then had to next play session, went through and cleared out the World Keep, and then fought my way down to Baal. Went through all of the waves that Baal throws at you. I was surprised also that the minions, man, it took a long time to wear them down. Look at these guys here. It took forever to wear those guys down. And then I went and fought Baal, and man, Baal was annihilating my army. But I eventually wore him down and got my title.